Hey guys, it's Primus here, and today I'm going to be talking about Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain demo and trailer, okay? The first thing I'm going to be talking about is the demo here. I'm actually going to analyze and tell you guys what's going on here and what I think and what a lot of people think is going to occur in this game, okay? First off, we see a prosthetic hand here. A lot of people are saying that this isn't really Big Boss. Some people say it is Big Boss. Well, before I actually jump into that, let me actually start the video so you guys, have a little idea of what's going on here. Prosthetic hand.
What happened to the woman? The woman? We gave her a light. She took the short way down. Who are you? Who am I? I've been watching over you for 9 years. You can call me Ishmael.
Okay, right here is where it gets really interesting. A lot of stuff just happened as of now. First off, the voice of Snake, if you would. We'll call him Big Boss for the sake of, Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, since there's a whole bunch of snakes. We'll call him Big Boss. Big Boss here has a different voice than the usual games, okay? A lot of people are angry about this because it's not David Hayter, things like that. Well, really, this can mean a lot of things. Maybe this isn't Big Boss. Maybe this is some other person. Well, a lot of people bitched about that too because it's like, no, it's Big Boss, because once you play the demo, you'll see that you actually see his face. It looks like Big Boss. He's missing an eye. Everything about him looks like Big Boss. Well, maybe that's true. But however, there's a lot of theories going around on who this person is. This so-called Big Boss. Obviously, the possible thing is that it is Big Boss. It probably is Big Boss, but why does he have a different voice? Well, if you remember Metal Gear Solid 4, Big Boss appears in that game, alright? Spoilers, if you would. And he actually has a different voice than Solid Snake, alright? So maybe Hideo Kojima wanted to continue on with that path he went of changing Big Boss's voice in Metal Gear Solid 4, so that's why here Big Boss has a different voice, okay? That could be explained by maybe the coma that he went into caused him to change his voice. The incident that basically caused him to go into the coma caused his voice to change. Maybe he got a voice change. Who knows, alright? Maybe they changed his voice because of security reasons. Maybe they didn't want him to talk with his normal voice because everyone knows what, Big Boss sounds like, and they're like, oh shit, if he's on the, let's say if he's on the codec or if he's on a walkie-talkie or sending out messages, people will be like, oh, that's not Big Boss, that's somebody else, right? There's a lot of theories going around and why he changed his voice. Who knows? All right. Maybe Hideo Kojima just didn't want to use David Hayter. Maybe he thought it was overused. Who knows, right? Another thing is this guy. Who is this guy? This guy, he calls himself Ishmael. I don't think Ishmael's his real name because he kind of hesitated. If you saw, he kind of like looked at his shoulder, kind of like, yeah, I'm just here to protect you. Okay. So there's more to meets the eye than this guy, okay? There's a lot of stuff we don't know about him. I think he has a hidden agenda that we don't know, the reason why he's there, why he's all bandaged up. Maybe he's all bandaged up because he doesn't want the player or, aka Big Boss, to know who he is, alright? Maybe he's really not sick. Maybe he's really not injured. Maybe he's just a cover-up. Who knows who this guy is? A lot of people say this is Frank Yeager, aka Gray Fox, if you would, which would, kind of make sense because by this time he'll be about that age, around this age, I think. And also the voice actor for, we'll call him Ishmael for now. I don't want to call him Gray Fox because I could be wrong. But Ishmael here is voiced by Keith Sullivan. All right, basically the guy from 24. All right, but to be honest, if this is Frank Yeager, he doesn't really sound like Frank Yeager. And what I mean by that, I don't mean the actual tone of voice, because I know over the years Gray Fox's his voice has changed, from Metal Gear Solid 1 to Twin Snakes to Portable Ops. But I think if this was Frank Yeager, his tone would be a little bit more serious. It could be him. maybe not. I don't know. This guy seems a little bit more relaxed than Gray Fox, especially since Gray Fox is a perfect soldier, if you would. He's all about killing stuff and all that stuff and all those things. So I really don't see him as Gray Fox. But hey, well, a lot of people think it's Gray Fox, and if they want to think that, go ahead. We really don't know who this person is. So basically, you're waking up from a 9-year coma, if you would. All right, this is where it's taking place, and apparently some bad guys are attacking the hospital, trying to get to Snake. All right, let me continue on.
What's going on? Well, the good news is you're in the land of the living. Bad news? The world wants you dead. On your feet, soldier. The whole place is coming down. Need a little pick-me-up? Okay. Here.
Okay, right there. That drug he's giving him. He actually says actually, wait, hold on. He actually says it.
Like a little dioxin to get you back in.
Okay, dioxin. Who knows if he actually gave him dioxin? I really don't know what dioxin does, but apparently it recovers him from his muscle dystrophy. All right. If you guys don't know, when you're in a coma, especially a coma that's like 9 years long, when you don't exercise, your muscles basically get really weak, and they basically, if long enough and if not taken care of, you can lose function of your muscles. So Snake, or Big Boss at this point, after 9 years in a coma, has muscle dystrophy. So this drug probably allows him to get up right away, allows him to walk. It could be an adrenaline rush or whatever, but I really don't think that this drug is causing the hallucinations. All right, we'll see some hallucinations a little bit later on in the video and everything like that. More specifically in the trailer than here in the demo. Here in the demo, you only see like one hallucination. But yeah, Big Boss in the Phantom Pain starts hallucinating. He sees a lot of weird shit and stuff. A lot of people say it's the drug that was given to him, and really he wasn't. His muscles were kind of back to normal, and that this drug that this guy gave him, Ishmael, is really causing the hallucinations. All right, but there's another theory to what those hallucinations are, and I'll get to that in a little bit later on. Okay, so let me continue the video here. Hold on. There we go. Alright, so Snake still has a prosthetic arm here. He's walking. Big Boss is like, oh, damn. So, I know I keep on changing the names, but it's kind of hard to, like, remember it. Okay, right here it's interesting. This is basically a telltale sign of where Big Boss is located at. Alright? I've researched and I found out that, he's probably in an island in the Caribbean, all right, just for the fact that if this is, if he was taken to a hospital nearby rather than, being transferred to a different hospital later on, in the trailer you'll see this, in which Big Boss is in a coma and everything. Apparently he was in a coma because the mother base, which is basically the base that you have in Peace Walker and everything, which is located in the Caribbean, mind you, alright, is attacked by an unknown group of people and everything. And apparently during this skirmish at Mother Base, in which Mother Base basically gets sunk and everything, Big Boss gets really injured to a point where he's sent into a 9-year coma, okay? So I'm assuming they would have to take him somewhere really close by from Mother Base, because, if they would have taken him to a hospital, let's say on the mainland, most likely he probably would have been dead because, even the doctor said we were too late, he's already in a coma. So the fact that they had to travel by helicopter and everything like that, emphasizes that this hospital is somewhere in the Caribbean, specifically an island owned by the British territories. All right, some of the islands you come in mind are the Cayman Islands, the Turks and Caicos Islands. There's a Montserrat Island, the Virgin Islands. I think did I say Virgin Islands? Virgin Islands. I said again, whatever. And there's some other islands too that were basically British territories in the Caribbean area. Right. This map here, I was trying to do some research and trying to figure out what this map is, but to be honest, I really can't get much of a look on this map here. Maybe the map is cut off. Maybe this is only like a little peninsula part of the island. Who knows? I really don't know, for the fact that, you know, I would need a little bit more information on this. If anybody can tell me, you know, based off of this map that we see here, where Big Boss is at the moment. Obviously, it's owned by the British people, because obviously there's a British flag there, okay? So I'm assuming it might be the Keiko Islands, it might be the Virgin Islands, who knows, right? So let me continue on. Alright, here he's just basically, Kojima's just kind of showing the physics of the game, how realistic everything is, how everything stumbles.
Drug's not working.
And it's funny, I don't know why they, like, a lot of people mention, why didn't it take the wheelchair?
We're getting out of here. Move it.
Which is interesting, actually. I just thought of something right now. Maybe he didn't use the wheelchair because maybe Ishmael is not real. Ha! Maybe Ishmael is fake. It's funny. Who is this Ishmael character? Out of nowhere, he comes and says, I've been here with you for the past 9 years. He's been with you for the past 9 years. But it can be Kaz or Miller, and they can't say, oh, they changed his voice, because, well, we all know in the trailer, if you once I play a little bit later on, that Kaz's voice is still the same. So this person here, Ishmael, could be fake. Maybe he's a figment of Big Boss's mind. Maybe Big Boss, you know, obviously Big Boss has PTSD, obviously, and so maybe he created this character kind of a way to help him out. So maybe that's why he didn't take the wheelchair, for the fact that Ishmael can't really push him around, and Big Boss at the moment can't really, you know, use a wheelchair because of, you know, one hand is gone and the other hand is probably really weak because of the coma that he was into. So it's probably better off for him to just crawl. So maybe that's why he didn't use a wheelchair. The fact that Ishmael is not real. Oh, another theory. Okay, let's keep on going, shall we? I just thought of that right now. I just didn't think about it. It's like, maybe Ishmael's not real. And then we kind of could make sense. Okay, that's a machine gun firing. Alright. And also the fact that Ishmael's face is covered up, so maybe Big Boss couldn't really imagine a new person. He just couldn't really. So if you hear those laughters in the background, that's because this is from the GDC, and you can hear people laughing in the background. It's the audience and everything. So, but this is, like, you know, the best quality I could find for this demo. He's crawling still. You see the ass crack there? Lovely! I love to see ass cracks. Alright. Alright, that just says there, Metal Gear Solid, Kojima, yeah. Yeah, Kojima's really full of himself. He knows he's the best. And I agree, he's one of the best game developers of all time, so. Alright, right here he's trying to get on the couch for leverage. And it's funny, why doesn't Ishmael help him walk? Why doesn't Ishmael get a wheelchair? Why doesn't Ishmael do anything? He doesn't, right? So maybe this guy's, like I said, maybe fake. But that's just a theory. It's not really, it might not be legit.
Mark, we better take the elevator.
Alright, right here it gets really interesting. And, alright, come on. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. There you go, Big Boss. Big Boss, yeah. Alright. And maybe that shot was fake too. Maybe it's not realistic. Maybe it wasn't real. Maybe it was just the figment of his imagination. Okay, right there. Who in the flip is that? Well, a lot of people are saying that's Psycho Mantis, and I kind of agree with that. I think it's Psycho Mantis for the fact that he's gonna do some crazy shit in a few seconds here, in a few moments here. Also for the fact that he has red hair, he's a kid, and the reason why I say he's a kid, he's small in stature. Look at the size of him next in front of the elevator. He's probably maybe 1-2 feet away from the elevator, so we'll take into account that he's even smaller than he's supposed to be here, right? So, and the fact that he's only half of the size of the elevator. An elevator could be about maybe 8 feet tall, so maybe this kid's probably like 4 feet tall. So that supports the fact that, you know, this person here is definitely a child of some sort, and if it is a child, it's actually about the same age Psycho Mantis will have, right? Psycho Mantis was born in 1970s and everything. He is a psychic, and apparently this guy's a psychic too. He's wearing the gas mask just like Psycho Mantis. He's wearing straps and everything like that, very similar to Psycho Mantis as well. But I'll continue on and show you what I mean by that. So there you go. It's a kid. It looks like a kid. The stature, the arm length, and everything. The bondages and everything, just like Psycho Mantis would. Alright, this is where it gets interesting. And the fact that Psycho Mantis can go through walls as well, so it's another credence that it's probably Psycho Mantis. This explosion, I believe, is real. I think there was a bomb in the elevator for in case anybody wanted to go in. Alright. Ishmael's on fire, but surprisingly Ishmael doesn't have any burn marks or anything like that. He's on fire. Why doesn't he have any burn marks? Why isn't he bleeding? Look at that, he's perfectly fine. Alright, that is Vogan. Alright, that is definitely Vogan. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here. You probably see, I'm gonna get the mouse right here. You probably see right there, there's a horn. There's a little bit later on, you see it a little bit better, but there's horns. Vogan here has glowing eyes. So this is probably not a real person at all. This is probably a hallucination, which is, like I said, is most likely is a hallucination of Vogan. Okay. Another thing to take notice. Vogan is on fire. He has devil horns. He roars for some reason. Okay, if this was actually Vogan, he wouldn't be roaring. He'd be like, "Snake, good to see you again." Let me continue on and show you why this is even more of a fact that he's a hallucination. Right there, he's melting like the witch from the east or the south. What was it from Wizard of Oz? The Wicked Witch from the south, I believe. The Wicked Witch, or whatever. He's melting because of the water, because obviously he's a fire-based hallucination, so water takes him out. I actually came up with a theory of who is creating this Vogan hallucination. Some people say if Ishmael is real, maybe the drug that Ishmael gave to Big Boss here is causing these hallucinations, alright? But if you notice, Ishmael's also seeing the hallucinations. Like, he's kind of like, oh shit, Vogan's here. So, how can he see it if only the drug is really affecting him? And I'm definitely gonna say that this is not a ghost. This is not a supernatural being or something. For the fact that the Vogan character randomly just like disappears. Watch, I'll play it again. Bam! Just disintegrates. That's it, right? Another theory has that maybe Psycho Mantis isn't evil. Maybe Psycho Mantis is actually trying to help out Big Boss. Why? If Psycho Mantis wanted to kill Big Boss, alright, well, I'm calling the little boy here Psycho Mantis. If Psycho Mantis really wanted to kill Big Boss, why he just let him go into the elevator, and if the elevator had a bomb, let it explode? Another thing, you might be saying, oh, well, maybe he wanted the explosion to go towards him. Not true, but what if the explosion, if that was the case, why didn't he just let Big Boss walk a little bit closer to get burnt? Why would he leave him so far back that the explosion didn't really affect him, just kind of send him flying back? So I think that maybe Psycho Mantis here isn't evil, but maybe good. Maybe he's trying to help out Big Boss here and kind of warned him. Maybe this Vogan character, which is created by Psycho Mantis, is trying to warn Snake or Big Boss, trying to warn Big Boss, trying to say like, hey, don't go towards the fire, don't go towards here. Evil stuff is gonna happen. Maybe he's using Vogan because Vogan is basically like the definition of evil in Big Boss's mind, right? We saw the horns and everything like that. So maybe Psycho Mantis is trying to say, hey, Big Boss, don't go here. A lot of bad people are here, just like Vogan. Maybe that's what it is, right? Who knows? But we'll continue on here. That's the theory I came up. It could be a possibility, or maybe Psycho Mantis is evil and we just don't know it. Alright, maybe he is trying to kill Big Boss here. And another fact that that the little boy is Psycho Mantis is to the fact that Psycho Mantis burned down his village when his powers were awakened. So for the fact that there's a lot of fire going on here, would say like, okay, Psycho Mantis is obsessed with fire. He's a pyrokinetic. He can control fire and everything like that. So it kind of makes sense why there's so much fire theme hallucinations in this in this world, if you would, or later on the trailer. And that's basically it. That's basically it for the demo. You really don't see anything else. I'm going to end it here for the demo, for the fact that, you know, he just keeps on walking and whatever, and that's it. It ends there, okay? I'm going to continue on now with the trailer, alright? So just stay tuned, guys. I'll be right back with the trailer, and that one has a lot more information, a lot more stuff to actually interpret and to analyze, too. So I'll be right back, alright? So stay tuned, okay, guys? Okay, guys, I'm back here with the trailer. I haven't started yet. I'm actually going to start it right now. All right, this very first part is very interesting, so pay attention. Hold on. All right, this is very interesting. When I saw this, the beginning of the trailer, it was pretty unique.
Don't you die on me, damn it! He be dropping.
Okay, that's Miller, obviously. That's Big Boss on the bed. Big Boss is apparently going to cardiac arrest. Kojima Productions. I like the music that they put in this trailer. It's really unique. Okay, the Fox engine, yada yada yada.
No response. Hit him again.
Do it. All right. So if you guys don't know,
Clear.
he's actually going into a coma right now. You'll hear him say it.
How's he doing?
Well, he's stabilized, but it took too long.
Another thing, they don't show this doctor's face. Maybe that's or the nurse's face. Maybe it's not really someone important. Maybe just they didn't want to add more facial details because it would have been too much or something. But I don't know, maybe that person right there is someone significant. But who knows, right?
In a coma.
What about him?
Okay, this is where it gets interesting right here. The doctor here confirms that, yeah, Big Boss is in a coma because they waited too long for the cardiac arrest, which is, you know, very possible. So Big Boss is in a coma, all right. At first, you probably were thinking, oh, it's the camera guy looking and everything like that. But then Miller confirms that there's a third person in the room, and that's you, the one that's watching the incident happen right now, all right. So Miller's like, what about him? Whoa, 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 what about him? That's kind of weird. Why would Kojima add a third character to this, okay? Especially a character that we don't know, alright? Another thing is, in the demo that we saw just recently, they didn't use David Hayter's voice, okay? And like I said, maybe Hideo Kojima didn't want to use David Hayter because, you know, Big Boss's voice does change throughout the series. You know, Metal Gear Solid 4, he changes and everything. But what if this person here has some significance? Obviously, it's a guy. It's a person. Some people say it's Chico, but maybe not. And the fact that Miller is very concerned about us right here, you know, the third person here. So it's pretty interesting. And also the fact that they cut it off right here. So right there, see? Like, you get nothing else based off of that. So who knows who this person is? It could be actually the person. Actually, this is where my little theories came up. I'll pause it right here with Big Boss. Like, holy shit. First off, this is probably occurred after the whatchamacallit, the mother base being attacked. But I'll get to that a little bit later on. My theory is that this third person that we saw there on the bench is the same person that we see as Ishmael. Okay, maybe Ishmael is that person. Maybe you're in the point of view of Ishmael. Or another theory that I came up with is just kind of like out there and everything. But I wouldn't be surprised if Hideo Kojima did something out there crazy. But the fact that this third person and the Big Boss that we saw in the demo are the same person. But you'll probably be wondering, like, wait a minute, how's that possible? All right, Big Boss went into the coma, and how can that third person be Big Boss? Wait, what? Okay, basically what I'm trying to say is the third person that we saw in the beginning of the trailer here, okay, is a double for Big Boss, basically a scapegoat for Big Boss. Okay, we already know that in the Metal Gear universe, there's a lot of people in the universe that can disguise themselves to the point where they can look exactly like their real counterparts. For instance, Decoy Octopus was so awesome in his disguises that he basically sounded like the DARPA chief, and he basically was a DARPA chief. No, it was Sigget. There we go, Sigget. That's the way he was, Sigget. He was basically able to disguise himself as Sigget so well that he did the voice, he did the face extremely well, and he even went to the extreme of changing his blood to be just like Sigget's blood, all right? And that's why he died, because of the fox died and everything like that, right? So we have proof that, you know, in the Metal Gear universe, it is possible to make an exact person that looks exactly like another person based off of the technology and, you know, whatever in this universe. So I think maybe that the third person and this Big Boss that we saw in the demo is really another person who disguised himself as Big Boss, went through, you know, facial surgery, grew some hair out, and things like that. And maybe that's why his voice does not sound the same in the demo or in the trailer as well. For the fact that maybe this person is not really Big Boss. Maybe it's somebody else, right? Another thing is, maybe this doppelganger of Big Boss is really a scapegoat, all right? Maybe somebody to basically kind of trick this organization that's trying to kill Big Boss and to think that is actually Big Boss. And when they do kill this Big Boss in the hospital in the demo, they'd be like, oh, okay, we killed Big Boss. We don't have to worry about Big Boss anymore. Yay, right? But really, Big Boss is in another location, still probably in his coma, trying to recuperate and everything like that. Because if you think about it, why would they have Big Boss in a hospital with no bodyguards, mind you? There was no bodyguards that we saw of protecting Big Boss whatsoever. What the hell is that all about? All right. If Big Boss had this big organization, I know the organization was torn down, and we'll see in a couple of moments here, but it really doesn't make sense. Why there was no bodyguards? Why would they take him to a hospital where everybody can see him publicly? All right. If I had, you know, this guy who basically has like the biggest wanted, you know, bounty on his head for who knows for what, you know, why would you put him in a public hospital? Wouldn't you want to put him in a private hospital where you have your own private staff? You don't have to worry about people going, oh, look, who's that? Is that Big Boss from, you know, so-and-so military organization and stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I'm really kind of, you know, 50-50, kind of on, you know, on the border of this. If this character that we saw in the demo is really Big Boss, maybe it's a double, maybe it's the twin brother of Big Boss, who knows? We really don't know the history of Big Boss, so we can't say, oh, he doesn't have a brother, oh no, he doesn't have a cousin. We can't say that, alright? Or maybe it could be a clone, but I really don't think that, because we all know that the very first clones were Solid Snake and Liquid Snake, and they weren't born until like 1972 and everything. And you know, this apparently takes place after Peace Walker, which is 1974. Which then, if he wakes up from his 9-year coma, it's 1983. So you know, even if this, you know, it wouldn't really make sense. It wouldn't really go well together, because obviously the guy that we saw in the demo is much older. He's like this age, if you would. So there's something going on there. All right. So I think it's probably not a real. It's not the real Big Boss. Maybe it's a different Big Boss. Who knows? All right. Right here is basically what we saw from Ground Zeroes. This guy over here, I'm using the mouse. Yeah. Is a lot of people don't know who he is. All right. This is actually a shot from Camp Omega, if you would. Camp Omega is where Ground Zero takes place, apparently, and that's where you see Chico. They talk about Paz, and this is where where there's actually gameplay footage of you as Big Boss infiltrating Camp Omega and trying to get Chico back, I believe, and everything like that. So who knows who this character is? Some people say it's Hawk Coldman. Other people say it's Gene from Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops. I really don't know. Maybe it's a new character all in all, right? But we really don't know who he is. I'm going to continue in the video here. Alright, that's Mother Base being burned down to the ground, or to the ocean actually. And what I think happens here is that Ground Zeroes is basically the first chapter for Metal Gear Solid 5, alright? And the reason being is because Hideo Kojima said that Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain are going to be two different games. Well, if he means two different games, maybe he means two different players. Maybe you play as two different people in these parts of Metal Gear Solid 5. For instance, in Metal Gear Solid 2, he basically did that switcheroo where in the beginning you play as Snake, and then later on when you go to the Big Shell, you play as Raiden, right? Maybe Hideo Kojima is going to do that. Maybe in the beginning of Ground Zeroes, where you invade Camp Omega, you are playing as Big Boss, but then later on in the game, where this Big Boss wakes up from his nine-year coma, you play as somebody else, but you don't really get to know who you really are until a little bit later on, right? I know a lot of people might gonna be bitching about that, like, oh, that's so messed up. Why would you do that? You know, it's Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid isn't Metal Gear Solid without Big Boss. But yeah, it doesn't mean they're gonna remove Big Boss entirely. Maybe they're just gonna allow you to play with this new character. I wouldn't mind. That'd be pretty cool. And also the fact that what I think is maybe when Big Boss goes to Camp Omega, all right, the Ground Zero part, maybe this guy with the burnt face and everything took the advantage that Big Boss is in Camp Omega and went off to Mother Base to attack it. So we see here, maybe right here, this scene right here with this image, is Big Boss coming back from his mission from Ground Zero, alright, and he sees, holy shit, my base is being attacked, right? Attacked by who? Maybe by that guy who had that burned face and everything that everybody thinks is Coldman or Gene, right? So I'm going to continue the video. So he's defending everybody here. He's trying to get everybody out, alright, and whatnot. See, right here, he's getting into the helicopter, and he's like, I know you're here, Big Boss, but guess what? You're not going to be able to protect your base while you're here. So that's probably what he's doing. He's taking the advantage that Big Boss is at the camp and is leaving in the helicopter. Alright? Everyone's dying here. They're trying to extract and everything. We don't see this third person just yet. Alright, XOF. XOF is the organization apparently been run by the guy who's burned that we saw. Alright, everyone's dying left and right. Damn buildings are falling over. You know, Mother Base is completely wiped out, right? So we probably won't see Mother Base ever again. Right here, Snake is driving and he crashes. Gets an arm, prosthetic arm here. Ishmael yet again, which, you know, possibility he might be an hallucination. Alright. Logan, yeah, you can see the horns there again. Alright, this is where it gets pretty damn interesting. Like I said, fire, Psycho Mantis makes sense because Psycho Mantis was a pyrokinetic. Alright, Logan yet again, probably telling Snake, hey, don't go here, there's bad guys. Like I said, I have a theory that maybe Psycho Mantis was trying to help out Big Boss. Alright, and right here, we really can't say for sure what this means here. Does this mean that Psycho Mantis captured Big Boss? Or does it mean that Psycho Mantis is helping Big Boss and he's like, oh shit, the helicopters are here, right? We can't really base anything off of this image here because we really don't know if Psycho Mantis is trying to help Big Boss or trying to kill Big Boss, right? Or capture him, if you would. Alright, he looks at the helicopter. Okay, right there when he points at the helicopter, maybe Psycho Mantis with his abilities freaking explodes the helicopter, or maybe is telling him, I'm here, right? Who knows, right? This person right here, white horse, spurs, trench coat, carrying a revolver in his pockets, is probably another... Right, okay. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. There's a whale here, alright? Why is there a whale? Well, obviously, you know, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but Ishmael is the name of a character in Moby Dick, alright? Captain Ahab loses his leg from the whale, the white whale, if you would, okay? And Big Boss here has lost his left arm, alright? So, kind of linking that, okay, Captain Ahab, or Big Boss is supposed to be Captain Ahab, Ishmael is a character from Moby Dick, so he's supporting the fact that there's this Moby Dick theme going on, and then the fact that Hideo Kojima, when he released the Phantom Pain, he called the studio that made Phantom Pain being called whatchamacallit, Moby Dick Studios, alright? Also the fact that there's this whale coming here, alright? Now, let's go in a little bit depth. Let's talk about this whale. What does this whale mean? Alright, let's go a little bit. Okay, before we get into the whale, actually, I want to talk about Revolver Ocelot. This is Revolver Ocelot. I don't care what you guys say, this is Revolver Ocelot. He has a little mustache going on here. His hair is very similar to Revolver Ocelot. Kind of looks like Revolver Ocelot. Actually, kind of looks like Doc Brown from Back to the Future 3. You know, specifically when he's wearing the trench coat and everything as a cowboy and everything. He's riding a white horse, which could represent that the fact that this is Ocelot, because we all know Ocelot is the son of the boss, alright? If you guys don't know, the boss and the Sorrow did the forbidden thing, had a kid, and the kid was Ocelot, alright? So, maybe Ocelot's riding this white horse, kind of to, you know, tell the audience that, A, this is Ocelot, you know, he's riding the white horse just like his mom, so this is most likely Ocelot, alright? So there's no doubt about that. Alright, he's talking there. Alright, the whale. Let's get into the whale. I know I was going to talk about it, and let's talk about it. The whale. The whale can represent many things, alright? One theory I have is that maybe the whale's trying to tell Big Boss here that whoever's on this helicopter is the main villain, alright? Because we all know that Captain Ahab and the white whale were constantly, well, Captain Ahab was actually chasing the white whale. So this could mean that maybe the person that's in this white helicopter, that the person that is in this helicopter is the person that you're going to be chasing throughout this game, alright? Just like how Captain Ahab chases the whale, Big Boss is going to be chasing after this guy. So probably this whale swallowing the helicopter is representation of the this is basically who you're going to be chasing throughout the entire game, probably the main villains of the game and everything like that. Another thing that kind of bothered me is that why did Hideo Kojima use a humpback whale here? Because in Moby Dick, the white whale is a sperm whale, not a humpback whale, alright? Maybe Hideo Kojima is trying to say something that this character is related to the humpback, or not related to the humpback, but the name is related to the humpback, or something. There's some significance into why he used a humpback rather than using a sperm whale, or maybe just the fact that he didn't like the sperm whale because it really didn't look cool enough, so he wanted a humpback. Who knows, right? Other theory I have is that maybe, like I said, you know, that Psycho Mantis was trying to help out Big Boss get out of there, right? Maybe Psycho Mantis is trying to inform Big Boss, hey, you know, these are the guys you're going to be chasing throughout your entire time in this game. So, you know, be careful. They're the assholes, okay? Who knows? We really don't know. We haven't really heard any conversations, any real plot to this story whatsoever. So let's continue on. All right, there, Snake. Okay, that can mean a lot of things. All right. First off, Snake didn't look bloody as hell. Snake looked conscious. All right, he was aware what was happening, and Miller hits the side of the helicopter like if he's pissed. What if? All right, don't shoot me now. What if this is when Big Boss gets picked up from Camp Omega after doing the mission of Ground Zeroes? All right, but unfortunately Chico gets killed. All right, and that's why you don't see Chico at all and the rest of the of this trailer whatsoever. All right, maybe Chico gets killed. All right, or maybe somebody else gets killed. Maybe like Boss gets killed, or maybe something else happens. All right, the mission went the wrong way. They failed, and that's why Miller's hitting the door because damn, we fucking failed. But that way that he hit the helicopter in the side seems like if whatchamacallit, if somebody actually died, like when somebody's really angry, like fuck, damn, they died. You know, what if that, you know, that they are really trying to get Chico here, and Chico was killed during the mission, and you know, and if you see here, you know, Big Boss isn't really bloody or anything like that, so we know that he hasn't been really injured to the point where he has to go to the coma yet, right? So that could be it, and I really think that's the possibility, that somebody died or that the mission failed in Ground Zeroes, and that's why Miller's hitting the damn side of the helicopter. Right here is Volgin yet again, riding a unicorn. Really don't know what that's supposed to mean. Alright, those are the people trying to get out of there. Ocelot running away now. Alright, right here. That's obviously Volgin and his unicorn horse of, you know, Majesty or whatever. Right here, this is where I think this is an actual gameplay footage here. For the fact that in a few moments you'll see how the camera kind of moves in a way like if somebody's moving it with an analog stick or something. So I really think that this sequence right here is an actual gameplay footage from Phantom Pain of Metal Gear Solid 5, okay? But what about this horse here? Well, what if he's, you know, obviously maybe Snake is still hallucinating from either the drug or from Psycho Mantis or for something else. But what if this person that's on this horse is not really a not really Volgin or a unicorn, but really what if is just a regular soldier chasing after Ocelot and Big Boss here, okay? But since Big Boss is hallucinating, he's seeing Volgin riding on a fucking unicorn, alright? So maybe Big Boss is the only one seeing these hallucinations and everything like that, okay? So my theory is this is a regular villain that's chasing them, and Big Boss is hallucinating, seeing this stuff, alright? Other games have done this in the past. Uncharted 3 has done it, okay, in which, you know, Drake drinks some magical water and stuff, which causes him to see hallucinations and stuff, and he sees the mercenaries as jinn, you know, genies and everything like that. So I'm not really surprised if, you know, Hideo Kojima is doing that same type of, you know, thing here, you know, in which Big Boss is hallucinating. This is a regular soldier, but since he's hallucinating, he thinks it's Volgin, right? And also probably representation showing that, hey, these are the bad guys, watch out for them, Ocelot, haul ass, go, 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 right? So right here, hold on, right here, right there, that looked like a camera angle. That lightning bolt. Okay, that lightning bolt could have been caused by many things, or it could be fake. But you're probably saying, hey, it can't be fake because the horse gets hit, Ocelot gets hit, they fall down into a ravine, it looks like. Okay, but what if that lightning bolt is real? Okay, so that's my theory. The lightning bolt must be real, or this explosion must be real, alright? Maybe this lightning is representing maybe Raiden or some shit like that, okay, who knows? And that, like I said, since we're playing as Big Boss, we're seeing everything in Big Boss's eyes. So, since Big Boss is hallucinating and everything, most likely this lightning bolt is this a hallucination of something else, right? Maybe a bomb strike, maybe something, you know, maybe an energy projection weapon or some sort, all right? Or maybe there's a Metal Gear that's shooting a lightning bolt style attack at them, all right? I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Metal Gear shooting them with a lightning bolt of some sort, but this is obviously a real explosion for the fact that Ocelot's also feeling the damage here. And I don't think this Ocelot here is fake at all. I think this is the real thing here. So maybe either A, Big Boss was hallucinating and he thought this explosion was a lightning bolt, or B, it is a lightning bolt strike, so who knows, okay? So let me continue on. Just a little double click there. So he falls over. Alright, Big Boss, this is where he goes into Ground Zeroes. That's where kind of the Ground Zeroes trailer starts. Right here, you're waking up, but we really don't know who this is. Is this Big Boss? Is this, like I said, the doppelganger of Big Boss? It's the same room, mind you, so it's most likely the same person, right? So it could be Big Boss, because obviously it's in the same place. But like I said, it could be the double of Big Boss. It could be absolutely anybody. The nurse realizes who he is, like, oh my god! He's in the same hospital, obviously, because of the flag and the map there. She probably has no significance. Just a regular nurse. I wouldn't really go in detail with her. I don't think she's just anyone important. So, he did a really good job, though. Okay, this looks like Sokolov. From Fox, 2 phantoms were born. What does that mean? From Fox, 2 phantoms were born. Okay, that could be meaning a lot of things. Okay, first off, phantoms. What if phantoms meaning Solid Snake and Liquid Snake? But I really don't think that's the case, because that's too easy. Hideo Kojima was never a person to be subtle. All right, he was always a person of being really cryptic with his trailers and whatnot. So the fact that 2 phantoms were born, let's see here. It could mean that maybe it's the fight between Big Boss and Major Zero. All right, or maybe it's the fight between the man who was burnt and everything that we just saw, who was also in the Ground Zeroes trailer. Maybe it was him versus Big Boss, or this is my other theory, which is kind of out there, but it's a possibility, that this Big Boss that we saw during the demo and throughout the trailer and whatnot is not the real Big Boss. Like I said, it could be a doppelganger, right? Or maybe like a clone or a person disguised as Big Boss trying to like impersonate him and everything. What if Big Boss fights with this guy, his double, his impersonator, if you would, right? Hence why the name is XOF. It's backwards, right? Maybe that's the reason why it's called that, because it really makes no sense. Why in the fuck would he call it XOF, right? And have the exact same Fox logo, right? A lot of people are saying that, oh, it has to be like Major Zero or something like that. XOF is part of Major Zero's thing. Possibility, yes. Maybe it's a branch of from that, but I really don't think so, because Fox is run by who? The Patriots. Who are the Patriots run by? Major Zero, alright? So, Fox is not Big Boss, okay? Big Boss left Fox, mind you guys, a long time ago, alright? Especially during this time period. He has his own PMC and everything like that, so he can't be, it can't be referencing that Fox is Big Boss and XOF which is the burnt guy that we saw, who basically captured Chico, are basically going to be fighting against each other. I think XOF is probably some new organization that we never heard of, with a new character, a new villain, alright, and that Fox is trying to fight against them, and maybe that's where, you know, Psycho Mantis comes to play. Maybe Psycho Mantis is trying to fight XOF. Maybe Big Boss is associated with XOF. Who knows? We really don't know. Hideo Kojima is leaving us in the dark here with very vague information. But like I said, I don't think Fox is Big Boss. I think Fox is meaning something related to Major Zero, and XOF is probably maybe Big Boss himself. Maybe Big Boss takes over XOF and he becomes a leader of it, right? Let's continue on. See, Fox versus XOF. This really makes no sense. And XOF doesn't make no sense either, because what kind of acronym is that?
You would like to know how long?
A phantom battle waged by the Vanished.
I'm afraid it's been 9 years.
Okay, so we really don't know what this is. A lot of people theorize that the Metal Gear Solid 5 most likely is going to take place in the coma state of Big Boss, which I really don't think so, because that'd be like a big slap to everyone's face. But I really don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's just actually he's going to wake up from the coma and some weird twist is going to happen. Alright, right here. Diamond Dogs. Okay, let's stop the video right here. Who the fuck is this dude? Big Boss, obviously, right? Alright, well, he's missing his left hand, just like the guy in the demo and in the trailer that we saw and everything like that. So, but this guy really does look like Big Boss. But what is that in his head? It looks like a horn. Okay? This is where that coma theory comes into play, where he's dreaming all of this, he's imagining all this, basically, in this dream state. This is where he basically becomes evil and becomes the evil terrorist he is in the other Metal Gear games, right? That's why he has the horn. Maybe it's representing that, you know, he's becoming evil. We really don't know. Maybe this is Big Boss and that's a shrapnel, or maybe Hideo Kojima's just trying to say that Big Boss is becoming evil in this game now. All right, he's becoming a dick now. All right, the fact that he did train, most of his soldiers were child soldiers, so that will make sense that, you know, he's leading the path of becoming evil now, right? Diamond Dogs, we all know that, you know, Hideo Kojima loves David Bowie, and so this is a kind of a reference to David Bowie's song Diamond Dogs and everything like that. So but I really don't see any significance into Diamond Dogs. This is the fact that it's just a new organization that Snake made up. That's all. He just changed the name and everything. Or maybe Big Boss, maybe this isn't Big Boss. Like I said, maybe this is a doppelganger. Maybe the doppelganger made his own organization called Diamond Dogs, and maybe that's who you have to fight, and that's why maybe he has the horn, because he's the evil version of Big Boss or something like that. We really don't know, okay? But I really think that this could be a doppelganger, and he made up his own military group, or this is a clone, or his brother, or who the fuck knows, okay? But this guy looks a lot like Big Boss, has every characteristic like Big Boss, but who knows, okay?
Diamond Dogs.
And the voice is different, obviously, so...
New home.
Like, who knows who that is? V has come... Okay. Basically, that's where the trailer ends. V has come to. I really don't know what that means. That could mean maybe Vamp. It can mean Volgan. It can mean Vladimir Putin. Who knows what V stands for? Maybe V is a code name for the new Metal Gear that they finally got, you know. But who knows? Although a lot of people are saying that Ground Zero is the prequel to Phantom Pain, and the Phantom Pain is a continuation of it and everything like that. So who knows? Okay. Like I said, a lot of people are saying this is a coma dream that he's all imagining. He's hallucinating, most likely, is the most obvious reasoning here for all this crazy stuff happening. That looked like Psycho Mantis there. Maybe Psycho Mantis is trying to help him out. Maybe he's trying to kill him. Who knows? Ishmael might be fake. Like I said, maybe it's a double a personality he created in his mind to maybe cope with his PTSD. Who knows? Maybe kind of like somebody to help Big Boss kind of ease the pain of PTSD and all that stuff, right? Maybe he created this character kind of like, you know, don't worry, I have your back, buddy. You know, we're all friends here. Especially since Miller, after all, kind of did betray Big Boss. But that's, if you played Peace Walker, you understand what I mean by that, okay? So basically, that's it. That's all for the trailer and the demo here. So guys, I want your opinion on this. What do you think? What do you think is all of this, okay? So I'll see you guys around. All right, hope you enjoy this. And that's it. So bye, and like I said, leave a comment in the comment section below telling me what's your interpretation of all of this that's happening in these trailers and these demos, okay? So, bye. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please press the little like button down below. Also, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And if you want more updates on what's going on my channel, just visit me on Twitter or at my Facebook page. So, this is Primus, keep it crunchy, and